What's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over what decides your muscle building potential. So this could work also for most things in fitness, not just muscle building, like cardiovascular and power and strength potential, not just aesthetic potential. But we're going to be going over a few things here so you guys can figure out how much potential you guys have, and you guys can set yourself up for success in your training programs. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys. So when we're talking about our potential or our genetic limit, genetic set point for what we can achieve in the realm of fitness and all that stuff. And well, there's a few main four categories that I want to go over. And the first one, which I already mentioned, is genetics. That's what I want to go over first. This category is interesting because a lot of people feel like if, they train, they're not going to look good because they look bad already. And there's people who they think they know who train and look good without training. You won't know your genetic potential in training if you don't train. There's a lot of people who work out and then afterwards they look crazy and they look like twigs before they started working out. So you can't just go and take what you look like now and compare it to, what your friend looks like now and expect that you're gonna, because your friend looks good and you look bad now and you have very thin arms. If you've never trained before, maybe you'll get bigger than your friend and you have better muscle building potential than what your friend has. Very good example of this in action is Usain Farhat, this YouTuber. I recommend you guys go watch him. He started off like a twig, and I'm gonna show you guys a picture of Usain here when he was like a twig, and I'm gonna show you guys a picture of him right now, which if you see, he is ripped, shredded, amazing looking. Like that guy looked he did that transformation in like 2 years, I think. So it's actually insane. Some people just react very well to muscle building, any sort of stimulus, and they just start growing like crazy. Another really good example of this could be bodybuilders, especially pro bodybuilders. Chris Bumstead, before he was on gear, if you guys saw my previous video, looked insane. He looked like a huge. And same thing with Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman looked like a monster before he had any sort of steroids. He looked like he was super, super strong, super, super well built. And that just comes down to genetics. And I can say it for me too. Like, before I started working out, I was pretty chubby. I wasn't really that strong, and then I got really skinny, and I wasn't really anything. But then, I started working out. I looked really bad before, and now I look way, way, way above average compared to compared to what I looked like before. I look way better, and I wouldn't say that I looked super good, but my body reacted very well to working out, and you guys could see that if you guys go look through my transformation video, which is one of the oldest videos I have here. I recorded, I think, like a month ago. So if you guys go and check that one out, you'll see that I had a pretty solid transformation. That goes to show that I have probably pretty above average genes. I might not have the same level of genes as Hussein Farhat, but I've started also training younger than he did. So that kind of counterbalances it. And that goes into our next deciding factor for muscle building. How much time have you been training? I'd say this is also 25% of the equation. If you've been training for 10 years, you have way more time in the I don't know, in it's like steel, tempered steel. You have more time in the fire. You're stronger than the other steel that, I don't know, it's only tempered for a little bit. So you're stronger, you're faster, you're better than what you would have been if you only put it in for 1 hour, or not 1 hour, 1 year. And that's what I was gonna say with the Usain Farhat thing. I'm only 16. Usain Farhat is like, I don't know, 19, 20, whatever. I'm gonna look probably better than he does by the time I get to that age. And I probably don't have the same genes that he does. He probably has genes that are slightly above mine, but because I started early, I could catch up and even surpass his genes. I'd say if I was in the top 10% or top 5%, he's in the top 0.1%. And like he's way leagues ahead of me in genetic potential. But that doesn't mean that I can't outdo him through hard work ethic, determination, and a lot of time in the fire of training and training really, 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 really hard. So you want to put in a lot of time into your training, and so I always recommend for people to train younger. When training younger, if you guys see my video on teenagers training or why they should train when you're younger, there's a lot of benefits that come from training younger. It can increase your bone density, your ligaments can hold more weight, your muscles can push harder than they ever have before because you're giving yourself more time. And really, bone density and ligament strength and connective tissue strength is what's most important because if you have that, then you're really set for working out. So that sets your potential pretty high. Okay, the next thing is proper diet slash training regimen. You are what you eat and you are how you train. So that's the other 25%. If you eat like garbage and you train like garbage, you're never going to get anywhere. This kind of goes to the other 25%, but you're not going to really see any super serious, even if you have the best genetics in the world. You might look decently good, decently strong. Like there's these people who have myostatin deficiencies and they produce mTOR like crazy. And mTOR is like this type of chemical that makes you produce muscle. And that's genetics, and they can look really good without training, although they're never gonna look super ultra duper ripped. Or it doesn't matter how hard, how amazing your genetics are. If you don't train, you're never gonna reach your full potential. And if you don't have a good diet, you're also never gonna reach your full potential. So diet mixed with proper training regimen is very, very, very important when it comes to setting yourself up for success. And I always say that it's always all about setting up yourself for success. Um, yeah, so you want to always eat good. Get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, 0.7 grams. If it's you're very getting a very good high dosage of amino acids from the protein. So this is proteins that are like lean beefs, lean meats. I mean, that you could be going and working with 0.7%, 0.7 per gram. If you're getting all your protein from lean meats, from egg whites, eggs, um, whey protein, casein, all those things. If you're getting those you only need 0.7 per pound of body weight if you're getting your protein from those types of sources. But in general, just to be safe, I'd go for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And also maintaining a solid amount of calories where you can gain muscle slowly, optimally, not gain too much fat. And if you have too much fat, to slowly cut off that fat through a solid diet. Remember, males try to go anywhere from 10 to 20%. That's what most males have is their genetic limit for body fat percentage, optimal body fat percentage, and optimal living. And for women, anywhere from 20 to 28%, I'd say. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And the last thing that I wanted to cover, um, your genetic potential and the amount of your genetic potential towards steroids and the amount of steroids that you're taking, um, which I never ever recommend anyone. But if you are gonna really reach your max in musculature, there's certain people who act really well to performance enhancing drugs. Take loads of performance enhancing drugs, which is really what leads to those huge, like Ronnie Coleman, on top of having those crazy genetics, took performance enhancing drugs and made him look that huge. But personally, if I had to say, um, don't take those because there's a certain point where you start to lose more than you gain. And at what point do you need to be benching? I mean, benching, if you can already bench like Ronnie Coleman could before he took steroids, 400 pounds, why do you need to be able to bench 500 pounds or 600 pounds? You're already never going to meet anyone in your whole life unless you go looking out for them who can bench more than you. So at this point, and especially if you've been training for a long time, it's just hurts you. If you are going to take some sort of performance enhancing drug, the closest thing to that I'd ever recommend is testosterone replacement therapy, and that's for people who are older. I'd say above 50 or 60. You really, really need it, and you really, really feel like you're not getting clarity of mind, you're not focused. That and this isn't a banned substance. NAD enhancers aren't banned, so nicotinamide riboside and nicotinamide mononucleotide. Those are also very good substances that are legal. Same thing with TRT is legal. I don't support anything that's illegal, but people use those, and you have to be aware of that when it comes to muscle building potential. Like I said, nicotinamide riboside, nicotinamide mononucleotide increase NAD levels, very good for longevity, cardio, and increased function of your body. So yeah, and I don't sell you guys any of this stuff, so I hope you guys know that I'm just trying to give you guys good advice, solid advice, since I don't have anything that I sell. So I hope you guys learned something new. I hope this video is interesting and help you set yourself up for success when you're thinking about this. This video is partially inspired from Coach Greg has had similar videos to this, and I was partially inspired by his videos. There's a lot of different things that you have to keep in mind when you're setting yourself for you're organizing yourself and you're trying to see how much muscle you can build. Remember, you should only expect to build about 10 to 12 pounds of muscle your first year. Then the next year, I'd say subtract 1 pound every year, more or less, of expectation until you get to about 3 to 2 pounds of muscle. And then if you've been training for that many years, you'll build through your 2 pounds of muscle until about the age of 32, 33. And then you'll stop building muscle. And you'll just be maintaining muscle. Or you'll build 1 pound of muscle per year. Very minimal amounts of poundages that you'll be gaining after the age of 32, 33. Unless you're taking TRT or you start taking something like creatine that you weren't taking before. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned something new. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see anything new, anything you guys are interested in, always please let me know. Send me an email if you guys want to stay in touch, have some sort of connection, any advice you guys want, or send me types in the comment section down below if you guys want to know anything. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye bye.